Hey, good morning. Welcome to Brian and Carrie in the morning.
Good morning.
This is our pre-show. So,
It is
but I'm
indeed.
going to tell you right now, in about 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to kick off with our show. Today is all about the worst advice or the dumbest advice we've ever received or heard, but how it turned into our greatest success factor in life and business. This is going to be a huge one and very relatable. So, about 10 minutes. Now, I'm waiting patiently to see if this is actually going live.
No, it's working.
Oh, it is going live because Cecile is here.
Cecily.
Cecily,
Oh,
Cecily.
we'll get it one day.
Our bad. Yeah.
Number one,
Yeah.
I would just like to say that if people see me shifting too much,
Yeah.
it's because I'm too small for these chairs. Just
Because she's too small.
I apologize
She's
for
small
that.
in general.
But number two, happy birthday. It's
My
his birthday today.
It is. Our daughter's over there
Hi.
saying happy birthday. Yes. Yeah, so I'm excited about today because I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent, tirade, on fire thing. Dumbest advice we've ever heard that ended up being the best, most important success factor in our life and business. And that is such an important topic. So I want to add this. We're looking to get 30 shares today on this video. You know people, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your colleagues who need to understand what this success factor is. I was about to give it away. I'm not going to. You have to
Don't do
wait
that.
10 minutes.
Good morning,
Good
Gov
morning.
and Brian.
Thank you, Chris. Thank
And
you,
Chris.
Brian. Yeah.
You know, I just want to say that you just said you're going to go off on a tangent or a tirade. It's like the furthest thing from what you're about to do. This is like this. You're going to go on BG at its best with a nice rundown.
I intend to. No, really, this is huge, right? And actually, it brings me to the question of the day. While we're getting kind of ramped up and we're edging towards 10 o'clock Eastern, this is for you to answer. I'm going to ask you as well. What's the best advice you've ever been given? And who was it from? I want to know. And thank you for all the birthday wishes. Very, very kind. I really appreciate it.
Best advice I've ever been given.
And I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah.
But I'll wait.
No.
Are you sure?
No, we don't wait in silence. You can go ahead.
Well, if you want to think. But if you're out there, I love these birthday wishes. Thank you so much, everybody. Daniel C. Grant. And I want to hear what the best advice you ever received was and who it was from. For me, it was from my dad. And I've talked with my dad 1,000 times on live streams and on Facebook and videos and stuff. My dad turned 85 years young 24 days ago. So it was this month, January, is his birthday. He turned 85 on January 6th. What's up, Pops, if he's watching? Because he watches Brian Carrie in the morning.
He's watching.
But 85 years old, and he's in perfect mental and physical health. Perfect. I mean, sharp as a whip, reads every day, incredibly intelligent, will dialogue with anybody, but politics and religion and philosophy. Very, very intelligent man. Still to this day has all his faculties. And he's in incredible health. Matter of fact, my mom worries about his health constantly.
Right.
Because he's advancing in age, and he's always like, I'm fine. And he goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, no, you're great. And he looks to my mom and says, I told you so. So what advice did my dad give me years ago? And this is so important, like advice, you know what I don't like? I don't like advice from people who don't use the advice.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, of course.
Don't sell it, live it. Right? Like, don't tell me, show me. My dad was a show me guy. So yes, he said this to me, but he's been living it his entire life. His secret to longevity and happiness and health, and he will profess this to anybody, including doctors, is up here. Okay? My dad, you got to understand, my dad smoked 2 packs a day for like 40 years. Right? He's Italian. He drank daily. I mean, it was just like a normal part of life. He's been on the spectrum of overweight for most of his adult life, and yet he's in perfect health. And he would argue with anybody that health is 100% the way you choose to perceive life. Right. My dad does not stress. He just doesn't. Yeah. His famous line, what do I care? He doesn't care. You do anything. He's like, I don't know, whatever. I'll just go over there instead. I don't care. Yeah. That is the secret. And that's the best advice I've ever been given. I want to add, I'm 43 years old today. I'm a competitive power lifter. I intend to be a competitive athlete well into my 70s. Watch. Stay tuned to Brian and Carrie in the morning for the next 30 years. Because you will see me still competing in some kind of sport. Why? Because I don't care. Right. I do not believe that age is a factor. I do not believe that half the things that stop people in this world are actually absolute factors that should be stopping them. this is what stops you.
You know, we should have your dad on the show for sure one day.
Yeah, we should.
Just quickly, Christina Jokic said that one of her friends once said to her that if you keep looking in the past, you won't see what's coming in the future.
Yeah.
Which is such powerful advice, right?
Beautiful, beautiful.
You know, so as it was one of those things, as you were, the second you started talking, I was like, aha, I know exactly what the most powerful advice that I ever received was.
Yeah.
And in my case, it was from my grandfather.
Okay.
So
this is your dad's dad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to recognize this because I've told you this story before. But it's one of those pieces of advice that we hear all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's the rhetoric, right? But my grandfather, he put a spin on it, and he was so passionate about it.
He probably lived it too.
Oh, he did.
Right? So it's not just the rhetoric.
So it was just so powerful for me, and it's kind of funny because it kind of touches on a little bit about where we're going today.
Yeah.
So my grandfather's piece of advice, I mean, and I think I was like 13 when he told me this.
Yeah, for the first time probably.
He basically said to me, he goes, never work a day in your life. Really, truly, that's what he said. He's like, never work a day in your life.
Sure.
And I don't know what about that was so powerful. Like, and he went on to explain. He said that, you know, like if you really love what you're going to do, it's never going to feel like work. And you have to understand that my grandfather, you know, he grew up on a farm. He ran a farm, so it was hard work that he did, right? So, you know, it was just so impactful on me. And if I think about my lifespan, you know, I always refer to it the Monday morning feeling. One of the things that I've kind of carried through my career is that whenever I've woken up with that Monday morning feeling of like, oh, I got to go to work today. I knew that I needed to do
time to shift.
a check, an assessment of what was going on. So I've carried that with me through my life. And you know, I haven't worked more than a day or two in my life.
Absolutely.
because of that, you know?
Well, and that does actually speak to today's topic very well. Today's topic is the dumbest advice we've ever heard that actually turned out to be the greatest success factor in our life and business. We want 30 shares today. This is something you need to hear. This is something that your friends, family, and colleagues need to hear. So please share this right now. Mama Draps, Lisa Draplock in Florida. She loves Papa Grasso. How could you not? Welcome to Tiffany Maxim, Lisa Arsenault. I see all kinds of names chiming in. So welcome everybody.
This is our first of the 5-day week.
That's right. This is day one of now 5 days a week. You read Michael Hedke's comment
so
for
it
me,
starts with your mind. You are the product of your own thoughts.
Yes.
I am totally a representation of what I am thinking.
Michael, absolutely perfect. And I couldn't agree more. And that also speaks to today's topic. Yeah. So last time I'm going to preface this. The dumbest advice we ever heard that turned out or became the greatest success factor in our life and business. What is it? How does it apply to you? How can you use it immediately in your life, right? So 30 shares is what we're looking for today. Please share this message with your friends, family, colleagues, loved ones, etc. So this is the last time, at least soon, that we'll be doing a Brian and Carrie in the morning from our new mountain home up here in Mount Tremblant, Quebec, right? We'll be back in our studio tomorrow. Now, you got to appreciate our studio. We have multiple camera angles. We have timers and clocks. We know what time it is and all that. I have no idea what time it is right now. I don't know if it's 10 o'clock in the morning yet, but that's what time Brian and Carrie in the morning starts. So I'm just going to start us.
Why not?
Because I'm looking at mountains and I have no timers, so I'm just going to start talking, okay? Here it is, right? About a decade and a half ago, I think, in that neighborhood, was the release of this movie. Kind of more like a documentary, and you've probably seen it and or heard of it. It's called The Secret. And it's all about the law of attraction. And admittedly, I watched that as a younger man, and I was riveted. That movie really changed a lot. It had a great shift inside of me regarding the whole concept that Michael Hedke just talked about your product of your thoughts. I mean, I had worked as a performance coach with elite, high-level Olympic professional athletes for years in mental training. So it's not like it was new to me, but just like your grandfather, he said something that we've all heard 1,000 times, but the way he said it, the moment he said it, the way he lived it, it hit you that day.
Right. And
you've carried it with you. So that movie hit me in a certain way, and it opened my eyes up to something I hadn't considered before, okay? Now, that movie has come under a lot of scrutiny and criticism over the years, and quite frankly, I share in that scrutiny. I'm not a criticizing, is that a word? I'm not a critical guy by nature. I think, you know who criticizes people? People who don't put shit out there. When you say shit, it's open to interpretation. It's open to every Monday morning quarterback who thinks they know it better than you. But I don't broadcast my critique very often because I respect people who put themselves out there, okay? But I have criticized it inside, you know, my own head and in conversations we've had, because I think they painted the picture a little bit too fluffy. They made it like seem as though all you gotta do is think it, and then it happens, right? And that's not the way the law of attraction works at all. But I am going to point to one specific moment in that movie, that one moment that was just like your grandfather's words to you. It lit me up eventually, because what it did at first is made me laugh. And I got cynical about what I heard at this part of the movie. And here's what it was. Jack Canfield, who is absolutely famous, he owns and founded the whole Chicken Soup for the Soul phenomenon. And he was interviewed on that movie, The Secret. Now, maybe you saw the movie, and maybe a special or a very enduring part that you remember. But here's the part for me. He was talking about the secret for him and what it means. What does the secret mean? How do you make money and find the love of your life and build a beautiful romance and a lifestyle that really fulfills you and makes you happy? That was the question posed to Jack Canfield. And here was his answer, okay? He said, well, it's really important to feel good. Like, for example, I have a cat, and I'm very, very fond of this cat, and I love just to pet my cat. And I was waiting with bated breath for Jack Canfield to finish the fucking sentence. I pet my cat, and then I fucking do this on Evernote and this on Google Docs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm waiting for the strategy and the technique and the tactics of how you build Chicken Soup for the Soul. But that guy left it as I pet my cat. And I shouted at the TV screen, like, what do you mean you pet your fucking cat? That's what you do? Jack Canfield, you make $3.7 gazillion a year, you've changed lives, and you pet your fucking cat. That is the success secret. So I laughed about it forever. I was cynical about it for a long time. I made jokes about it from the stage. I didn't ever make fun of Jack Canfield. That's just not who I am, but I talked about that point. I was like, you know, you got to hustle, you got to grind, you got to work. Until I woke up and I realized something. That the only thing stopping you from what you have or what you want in life is how you feel. And if every day you wake up with this challenge and overcome, and I have a learning disability, and I don't have all the money I need, or my husband's not very nice to me, or my wife's a jerk, or my teachers and my kids in school, they're not, if you wake up to that, I got to do all this work, and oh, I hate this, and man, I just got to suck it up and hustle and grind and do this stuff. You're never going to get what you want. Not now, not in the future, not ever. You're never going to get what you want. Jack Canfield's words were magic, and they were powerful. And everything we teach now is about exactly that.
Absolutely.
If you don't feel good, nothing works. So here you are, you're struggling to lose weight. You want to lose weight, man. I just want to get down to 122. I just want to get down to 199. I just want to get down, so I got to tough it out. I got to go to the gym, and I hate the workouts, and I hate the treadmill, and I hate this, and I hate CrossFit, and I hate all that stuff. Then you're never going to get there. And if you do get there, you'll never, ever, 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 ever stay there. Not now, not ever. You'll never stay there. And maybe instead of losing weight, you want to make money. I just want my business to grow, and I'm going to make money, I'm going to help people, I'm going to serve people. Oh, but I got challenges, and I hate writing newsletters, and I hate Facebook, but I got to do videos on Facebook, and oh man, I hate this, and I hate that, and I hate looking at my numbers. Then you're never going to get there. You're not ever going to get there. You're not going to have the impact, the career, make the money, or be as fulfilled as you want to be. In life, in business, in fitness, you name it, you are creating an energetic bottleneck for yourself. So, pet your fucking cat. Do the things that feel good. Next week at this time, I think, we're going to be in Spain. We're hosting a retreat in Barcelona. It's sold out, so I'm not trying to sell you, so don't worry about anything. We're going to be hosting a retreat, and this is what we're going to be talking about. We're not going to be talking about tactics and strategies and tools. We're not going to be talking about you got to do this, you got to do this. We're going to be teaching these people and then living it with them for 4 days in a 15-bedroom villa on a mountain in Spain. Build your days and your business and your fitness around feeling good. If you don't like CrossFit, then don't do it. Find the shit you like. If you don't like email marketing, then don't do it. Find the shit you like. If you don't like doing videos on Facebook, then don't do it. Find the shit you like. When you wake up with a vibrational energy of happiness and joy and prosperity and fulfillment and gratitude, shit just starts working. And I'm going to tell you something right now to the naysayers, okay? I was you. It wasn't that long ago I was you. I was the cynic. I was, you gotta hustle. Oh, these fools, they don't know what they're talking about. You gotta get up and you gotta grind. You know what? I was fat. I was miserable. I was lonely. I had no life until I decided to build my days around feeling good. Then I started waking up happy with gratitude and joy. And guess what? It all just started working. That doesn't mean you don't have to work hard. It doesn't mean there are not going to be obstacles or challenges in the way. But you don't see them as obstacles and challenges. You see them as just fact. They are what they are. Get the fuck over it. Done. Next. And you move on. You move forward. This isn't namby-pamby. You know what this is? It's neuroscience. When everything is working energetically in you, you see life differently. Do you know what I did this morning? I sat my ass on that couch over there with a cup of coffee in hand, and I looked at the mountain. I looked at the sun rising and cresting over top of this big, beautiful mountain. And that's what I did for 2 hours. I should have been writing. I should have been doing a video. I should have been thinking about our next project. I should have been doing this and that. But that's how I wake up every day in this house, because it feels good. And then the rest of the day is easy. It's simple. It's basic. There's nothing to it. So every day, I hug my kids. I spend time with my kids because my kids make me feel good. Every day I talk with my wife because as beautiful as Carrie Campbell is, her brain is her greatest asset. And her mind makes me quiver. So I engage her in conversations because that feels good. Every day I don't go to the gym to do Stairmaster and shit I don't like. I power lift because that makes me feel good. And because of all that feel good, I have the life and the business I want. Pet your cat. That's how it's done. That was today's mic drop. Did you enjoy it? Give me some hearts. Give me some comments.
Love it. So I took a whole page of notes.
Yeah.
Because there's...
You may have to speak up.
Oh yeah, sorry, my voice... Brian's voice is much louder than mine.
My voice carries.
And I feel like I'm screaming when I talk at this level. But, you know, I think that for everybody who's watching right now, okay,
yeah.
Because... so let me just add a few things insofar as like, what do you do now to make this happen in your life,
sure.
Right? Because there's people who are watching right now. We know some of the people who are watching right now who probably 95% of the time don't feel good, right? And then I want to also add that there's people watching who don't even know that they don't feel good.
Yeah.
You know, there is this, you know, point. We have accepted in our society that, you know, work is hard. And it's normal to be stressed, and this hard work is taxing. Like we've almost been conditioned that that's all what it's supposed to be.
And just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal.
Right.
Don't forget that.
Right. And you know, so as you were talking, I couldn't help but think about the whole story that we've talked about this before. You know, that if you had a rock in your shoe and you were walking, you know, you're on a 1 mile, 2 mile walk, and you had a rock in your shoe, what would you do? You would stop and you would take the rock out, right? Because it's digging into the bottom of your foot. So it doesn't feel good. So you stop and you take it out. Now, a rock in your shoe is something that it's obvious, right? Like, because your shoes don't have rocks in them normally. So when there's one there and present, you're immediately aware of it. So what does that mean for your life, and how to take this and now bring it into your world is you have to start to become aware of the rocks in your shoe, so to speak, right? So what are the parts of your life that are essentially those pain points, those don't feel good things?
Sure.
You have to increase your awareness because there's too many people who nowadays accept the common as normal, as opposed to creating change.
And they make excuses for it.
Of course.
If you take like our whole process is built off of a concept called 4A's.
Right.
And let's do it right now. First, accept that success in life and business and fitness is all about feeling good. Then become aware of where you don't feel good. then take accountability and stop making excuses and stop being okay with it. Take accountability and make it good. That's when you adapt. Right. That's when everything starts to change.
Absolutely.
Life's about feeling good.
Yeah.
And don't get hypnotized by the bullshit. Don't get hypnotized by the, I'm afraid of this, or my wife and my husband, we don't get along. Don't be hypnotized. It's all bullshit. All of it's bullshit.
Right.
Learn to feel good. Learn to be positive. Learn every day, checks and balances. You'll start to adapt at a crazy rate when you make that your priority.
Right.
Not the sales copy.
Yeah.
Not getting to CrossFit on time.
Right.
When you start to make feeling good a priority, everything changes.
Yeah. So if you're maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed on how to do all this.
No one's feeling overwhelmed.
Like, just in case, here's where you start. I'm going to give you like 2 steps. Number 1 is assess.
Assess.
Number 1 is assess your days. Where in your day do you have moments that don't feel good? What does feel good and what doesn't feel good?
Sure.
And then you work to decrease the
Right.
doesn't feel good and increase the feel good, right?
Right.
But you can't do that without having an overall understanding. I mean,
Sure.
we do that. You and I do that ongoingly.
Take our temperature all the time.
And we do it regularly as a scheduled piece. We kind of look at our days and say, okay, like this isn't feeling good.
Sure.
And so we dynamically evolve it.
It's worth noting that, can I just paint the trifecta of what you just said?
Of course.
Every single morning, we do our own journaling time. Learning our language is part of it. So on a given day, we are assessing what's in our heads. And if there's any negativity, we source it out immediately. And we ratify it. We take accountability and change it. Okay, that's number 1. Every Sunday is the day that we plan our next 7 days. So on Sundays, the first thing we do is we retrofit last week. And we look, what did we do and how did we do it? Did any part of it not feel good? And if it didn't, we adjust it for the week to come. And then the last part of that is that we have, like every entrepreneur on the planet, we have like an annual calendar on our office wall. Every single quarter, we have what we call an audit week, that we look at our business, our life, our fitness, and our relationship. And for 5 days, we don't do anything else except we talk about it all. And we find the parts that may not feel good, and we move them, we adjust them, we take accountability, we change them.
You know,
don't be a victim. Like, how long are you going to let this go for?
Right.
Until it's to a point that now you're looking back going, shit, I really wish I had done something 25 years ago when I heard Brian&Carrie talk about feeling good.
You know, which brings me to my next point that I was going to make is to really truly embrace the whole notion of it's about progress, not perfection.
Absolutely.
Because,
true.
you know, if Brian and I had adopted this kind of, you know, mindset of feeling good and expected it all to be perfect right from the start, we probably would have given up on day 2.
I agree.
Because it's not going to feel good at the beginning.
Every day a little bit better.
Right? So you want to aim on progress, not perfection.
Sure.
And just to give like a really good life example, I mean, we're on our show, so this is a perfect example. How many times have we changed our show format?
Every time.
Like since November, number 1.
Yeah.
But also how we prepare for the show.
Yeah.
You know, we sat nestled in to prepare for the show for like the last several months.
Yeah.
And we've found these little, you know, moments where I'm like, that doesn't feel good to me. So we've modified and adapted. So don't be afraid to do that.
Can I build that out farther?
Sure.
Let me start by saying, if you're enjoying this so far, if you're getting something from this, share it. We want 30 shares today because this is a huge topic. More people need to recognize that life is about feeling good.
Yeah.
Not anything else, okay? The everything else happens when you feel good.
Right.
Pure and simple. But let's build out, because that's a great point Carrie just raised, that we have been doing a Brian&Carrie in the Morning live stream since about late November.
I think so, yeah.
Early December, okay?
Right.
And, is that right?
I don't know.
So, I want to say we're about 7 or 8 weeks in, right?
Yeah, about.
But here's where it started. It started by us sitting on our living room floor in our house, turning on live stream and just talking about shit. And we had no preparation, nothing. But you loved it. People watched and they shared it and they paid attention. And then we decided to formalize it. So then we got ourselves a studio and lights and a producer and everything else. And it was Mondays. No, it wasn't. It was Tuesdays and Fridays. 2 days a week. And that is when we started preparing for our shows every Sunday, where we would talk about topics and ideas and how we present them and how we're going to teach, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but then Carrie recognized an energy leak in her. Something wasn't feeling good. Yeah. For all of her brains and all of her talent and all of her skill, that kind of preparatory model just doesn't feel good to Carrie. So great. Then we adjusted it. We moved it. We changed it. Now we've, you know what? Tuesday, Friday, enough. Let's just do 5 mornings a week. 5 mornings a week. And here's how we prepare our shows. Are you ready? This is how it works. We get up early in the morning. We do our own mindset journaling process. We take our temperature on language. We count our wins. We assess our intentions for the day. And then we either talk or read separately. Meaning I'll read a book, she reads a book for about half an hour to an hour, or we have a conversation. Right. Every single day, that's when the topic comes to us. This. What we just read, but make it ours. Or, great point you just raised, Carrie, that's what we need to talk about today. Yeah. And guess what? That feels good right now. Right. It might not in 2 months. But I can tell you something. If we shift again, or when we shift again, we're not going to classify it as a failure. Of course. We're going to classify it as transition. Right. Life moves. It evolves. Yep. Your job is not to resist change. Your job is not to resist evolution. Your job is to allow change and allow evolution while you keep the homeostatic balance of always feeling good. Yeah. When that is the thing you care about, everything else works. Yeah. You know, the first thing I want to say is I apologize to everybody right now. There's so many comments. We will come back to this show after the show and comment and answer questions. We can't read because we're not in our studio, so we don't have the visibility. We have one little phone as opposed to a monitor right here. So I apologize for that, but I'm really glad that the conversation went that way with regards to our show, because I think that there's, you know, in and of that, just that one example, there's so many powerful points. Number one, if we don't feel good in what we're doing, we're crap for you. Yes. Right? So the better we feel, the better we're able to deliver what we're talking about, what we're sharing on a given day. Right? Sure. So that's number one. Number two, you know, what feels good to you, what feels good to me, and what feels good to you are completely different, possibly, right? Yes. And it's not about, I mean, we've talked about this stuff before in relationship stuff. It's not about trying to conform someone to being what you're like, rather understanding, right? So it's really kind of funny because we, you know, when we reformatted it the way that we prepare now, you know, I said to Brian, it's like, you know what I need to know for our show? I need to know the topic of what we're talking about. Right. And the reason, like, because the second I start to think about what I have to say or whatever like that, I shut down that flow of energy, right? So, you know, Brian just, you know, he delivers this amazing, you know, overview of what we're talking about. And on a given day, that's going to change, right? You could have prepared for it 2 days ago, and then today it would have been totally different because of what we're feeling today. Prepare every morning. So we are completely in a state of what, you know, that classic term flow, feel good, when we're up here now. And that means that we give the best to you and we feel the best that we can possibly be. So I want to close this out right now. I want to remind everybody that this is a huge, important topic that friends, colleagues, loved ones, people need to hear. Yeah. We'd love 30 shares today, so please put this out right now. Even if you have, do it again. If you haven't, please do. Here's where I want to end, and we'll listen to some of your comments as well if you want to type some in for us. Here's the defining message you have to understand. There is no way to succeed in business. There's your way. There's no way to succeed in love and relationships. There's your way. There's no way to succeed in fitness. There's your way. And the biggest problem is that we're always waiting for permission for someone else to tell us what to do, as opposed to understanding and internalizing, being aware of what makes us feel good, and then do that. I don't really know at this moment in time if we are doing live streams the way they're supposed to be done. I also could give a fuck because this feels good to us. We like this, right? I don't know if powerlifting is going to give me the physique, but I do know I love it. So I go in and I crave that kind of energy every single day. And it speaks to so many things that you're wrestling with, that people are wrestling with, right? It's so many, like I could go on another half an hour right now. And it's like, I find it burdensome. I find it embarrassing every single time. Like on my Facebook newsfeed, if you're an entrepreneur, are you listening? I know exactly who your coach is based on what you're doing on your newsfeed. And I want to tell you something. I think that's embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing that we actually believe there's a templated model to business success. That you put some money down, in some cases a lot of money down, and then you just do the templated thing that your coach says you're supposed to do. And next thing I know, my newsfeed is littered with entrepreneurs doing the exact same fucking thing. And does it feel good to you though? Is there sustainability to it? Is it something you're going to want to keep doing in 3 months or 3 years? The answer unequivocally is no. It doesn't feel great to me. I don't really know if I'm going to do it in 3 years or 6 months. But then why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? If you're fighting yourself to do something, you're bottlenecking the energy and you are guaranteeing it's not going to work. Fitness, relationships, business, and life need to feel good. And I can tell you right now, mark my words, it's January 30th. I know that because it's my birthday, in case you weren't sure. By July of this year, we will be living up in these mountains full time because it just feels too good up here. Do you love our life in the city?
I do.
Do you love our house in the city?
Absolutely.
This just feels different and better right now. So we're going to come up here.
Completely. Absolutely.
And there's no bottle. How are we going to do it? Oh my God, can we sell this and buy this and what? Yeah. Fuck the what ifs. This feels good. That's what we're doing. Focus, get after it, done.
You know, people are chiming in with great comments.
Okay.
So just quickly.
Have you read some?
I have read them.
Because my glasses don't work that far.
I got it. Lisa Arsenault commented saying that she finds that there's a great number of people who are comfortable living in the poor me state. Oh, and I mean, of course, you know, that's very, very true. And we just last week you said to me, I think it was the skills guy. What's his name?
Skills guy.
Acquire skills. Jim
Rohn.
Rohn.
I love Jim Rohn.
Just last week, you quoted something to me that you had read from him again.
Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's easier to get rich than it is to make excuses for why you aren't rich.
Right.
Fact.
Absolutely.
And he's right.
And so, you know, yes, Lisa, I brought that up because, yes, that is the poor me state and people are very comfortable living there. But I think that you get comfortable living there because you don't know really how easy it all is.
It is.
And so, you know, we're not going to cover all that on today's show,
No,
but stay tuned every day because that's what we talk about. We're showing you the simplicity of it. Steve Montfils, who's new to the show and in our world, he commented just saying that, you know, he's been listening. As he's listening, he's having these aha moments along the way.
I love it. Bless you, man.
I mean, absolutely beautiful. I love that it's resonating with the people who are listening.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's no way to do it. There's your way. So get it done. Do what Carrie said. Like, I'm the blowhard. This is the new format of Brian and Carrie in the morning. I'm going to do my thing, have some fire in my belly, hopefully inspire you. But then, sincerely, listen to my wife. Because she will tell you how to do it. And what she said is perfect. Start by assessing where doesn't life feel good. But be honest, be critical, and don't be afraid. Where doesn't it feel good? And then take accountability to start moving it.
Yeah.
You do not need to know how it's all going to work out.
Right.
You need to have faith that it will. And we, look at, that's, by the way, I already know what tomorrow's show is. And if you'd like to come back tomorrow, we want to have you, 10 a.m. Eastern, Brian and Carrie in the morning, right here on our page. It's all about the free fall. My friend, let go of the reins. Life is going to catch you. It's going to catch you. We have free falled more than once in our lives. And every time we don't free fall, we fuck it up. Yep. Every time we do free fall, it works. It's not about being immature or irresponsible or stupid. It's about having faith. And that is tomorrow's show.
Absolutely. So what you're going to do is you're going to assess where it doesn't feel good. Yes. And then this week, change one thing. There you go.
Take some accountability. Start to make the changes.
There you go.
Listen, I hope you like the new format of Brian and Carrie in the morning. I will start us off with a hopefully vibrant, inspired commentary. My wife and much better half will round out my shit with some takeaways for you that you can work on immediately in your life. We are 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, every day starting today. How do you not want to start your day like this?
I want to.
30 shares. Please help us out. If you like today's show, give us some hearts. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.